Hey dogs, welcome back for another project. I'm very happy to see you all again. We love the starchy seeds of the annual Southeast Asian cereal grass, widely known as rice. You love it. Well, or hate it. I don't really care, but the people of the Heian era sure did. It makes you wonder, how does rice embrace the Heian aesthetic? I'm sure you're dying to know, but first let's start from where rice came from. Despite its close connection to Japanese culture, it's actually not indigenous to the Japanese archipelago. It was originally found in south-central China, Ganges River Valley in India, and South Asia, and slowly made its way down to Japan. It is said to have been introduced at the end of the Jomon period. The Jomon period lasted from 14,500 BCE to 300 BCE, and was mostly focused on small communities that would hunt and fish, so a good bit of time before the Heian era. Even then, the amount of rice that was originally brought to Japan was limited. That's when they started wet paddy rice growing, and it was practiced widely throughout the islands. At that time, rice was not only served as food, but also as a currency. They would pay tax with rice in place of money, and the higher-ups, or state, would collect portions of the harvested rice as tax. They would have to pay the rice worth that was measured in koku, which basically meant the amount of rice necessary to feed one person for about a year. However, the continued cultivation of the soil as the population increased caused the fields to deteriorate, and soon the rice cultivation became privatized to noble families. It became a status symbol to exclusively eat white rice without any other nutrients. This caused a lot of wealthy people who lived in the capital at the time to develop vitamin deficiencies due to malnutrition. Rice is so deeply ingrained in the culture of Japan, as well as other Asian countries. Cooked rice is also called gohan or meshi, which simply translates to meal. Rice had many uses in Heian Japan, a lot more than you would expect out of something most considered a food. We've already established how it was used as a currency, but what does it really represent for the Heian era? There are deep-rooted themes of fertility, prosperity, and sustenance. To the people of Heian Japan, it represents more than just a grain. It is the essence of life itself. A big part of the Heian period is its aesthetics. The reason why it's called the Golden Age is because it's rich with culture and the arts. I mean, the beauty standard for a lot of women is having dark long hair and an extremely fair complexion. They would paint their face with rice or lead-based cosmetics to achieve this look. Rice was also used as one of the main offerings to the deities at the Buddhist temples and Shinto shrines. This is because it is a symbol of prosperity and the forces of nature. It shows up in religious contexts often because a lot of Japanese mythologies were said to have invented rice cultivation. Inari is the Shinto deity of rice, usually depicted as a man with a beard riding a white fox, a woman with long hair carrying rice, or an androgynous Buddhist figure. Inari is predominantly associated with foxes, which symbolize benevolence and malevolence. A few other examples of this would be Kyochiki and Nihon Shoki.
Why is it so hard to pronounce?
To this day, rice is still a very important part of Japan, being one of the bases of their food. Even though it might have lost its aesthetic significance in modern Japan, it still is burned into their culture in a way not seen by many other countries. After all, Japan is the world's 9th largest producer of rice. Unfortunately, though, the production of rice has been declining due to the decrease in numbers of farms and agricultural settings. So that's not great. We should probably look into that, maybe do something about that, you know.